Trendsetter here, AVN 2018 Las Vegas. First time for me ever here, and look who I ran into. So thankful to get a chance to speak to this lovely young lady, Brooklyn Chase. Brooklyn, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. First time for me here. Obviously, it's not the first time for you here as well. What would you say to the people who don't really know about AVN? What's the atmosphere like? Because I'm always interested from the performer standpoint. What's it like for someone like yourself to come out here and have so many people come and want to shake your hand or want to, take a photo with you and show how much they appreciate you? How's it from a performer standpoint?
So it's definitely surreal. This is my 5th AVN, and I still think it's crazy that people get excited to see me. I always look to see who's behind me and who they could possibly be looking at. But I also think that it's definitely a lot calmer than people attending probably assume that it's going to be. I think when it's your first year, you think there's going to be like girls hanging from chandeliers, and that just really isn't how it is. So, women, let your husbands come, because it's not nearly as bad as you think it's going to be.
Well, this is a whole accumulation of 2017 with the AVN Awards approaching this weekend. For yourself, leading 2018, what do you have to look forward to? Maybe not necessarily in terms of projects, but maybe some personal goals you hope to achieve in 2018.
I've been very fortunate. Every year I've been successful, and I've continued to make movies, and I just hope that 2018 is like that for me, because I really genuinely enjoy what I do. I have a really good time. So it really is a personal goal for me to continue to grow my brand and to grow in the industry, and to continue to put out things that I haven't done yet and people are excited to see.
In terms of branding yourself and evolving in this industry, what steps do you take? I mean, obviously we know social media is a tool that everybody uses nowadays. It's the modern day business card. So for you, what steps do you take usually on social media to help kind of elevate the brand of Brooklyn Chase so that, before we know it, in 2023 and 2021, everybody knows who you are?
So social media is definitely one of my New Year's resolutions this year that I'm trying to be better at. It's
hard to, right? It's very time consuming.
It's time consuming, and sometimes I go home and I just want to be who I really am, not Brooklyn. But social media is so important, and it really is fun to interact with your fans and to hear what people think about the things that you're doing. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to make a bigger effort to do. But I also find that my fans really enjoy seeing me around the house. They enjoy seeing me in my normal life and seeing my pets and seeing what I do. So that's because of the amazing fan base that I've built and the sort of things that I've shot. My fans are perfectly content seeing me with no makeup and cooking dinner, and so that's something that I try and do on social media, is give people more of a glimpse into my personal life.
Now with social media, and that being said, you always try to give it more of a personal touch to people, but at the same time, there are always positive and negatives to doing something like that. And I would be remiss to say that, obviously in the last couple months, there's been some unfortunate losses in the business. So for you, how important is it for you to keep such a positive mindset around, being able to unplug yourself at times, so all that negativity, all that scrutiny, which you get in anything you do, especially in the adult film industry, how important is it for you to make sure you unplug so you can unwind? Because, with the social media and obviously the work that you guys do and the way you guys schedule yourself sometimes, now granted you do your own scheduling, how important is it for you to kind of take that break to kind of, relax yourself a little bit?
So I don't live in LA, I live on the East Coast, so I am fortunate that I get to take that break. But I'm also, while I show glimpses into my private life, they're just glimpses. There are definitely things that I keep to myself. There are definitely things that I don't talk about even when I'm asked. I just will ignore that tweet or comment because that's my personal life and it's a part that I keep personal. So I think it's important to do that. It's important to not overshare. It's important to keep things that are personal. But I'm also lucky in the sense that I get to shoot a bunch of scenes and have a great time, and then I get to go home to the East Coast and live my normal life and not have porn be the center of it. So I have a really great balance, and I think that's important. And there's a lot of girls in the industry that don't live in LA that travel in so they can have that balance.
So if you had a perfect day off, what would it be?
Napping.
Besides catching up on sleep, I know, we all have to do that.
I like to craft. I'm a crafter.
Okay, cool.
I just started crocheting, so I'm making scarves for everyone I ever have met in my life.
If you ever make scarves, I would definitely be one of the first to get those. I love wearing scarves. I think it's very fashionable and stylish.
I'm actually getting pretty good at them, if I do say so myself. I like to cook, I like to clean, I like to do very, very boring things, which is also sometimes why I'm not on social media, because I've been cleaning all day. That's not that exciting.
So let's say the Trendsetter got an invite to go to your house and for a nice meal. What would be the dish that say this best represents what I can cook?
Ooh, so I just made a amazing Wagyu tomahawk steak not too long ago.
Wow.
It was quite expensive. but it was like restaurant quality, amazing Wagyu tomahawk steak. So that's what I would make.
Well, you know, I could talk to you for hours, but I know you're going to get a long line. I'm going to get kicked off pretty soon. So one final thing for me is that, you know, when it comes to, obviously, you're working and you kind of dictate your own schedule, I feel, right? As a performer, you can kind of schedule yourself there. And going back in terms of, you obviously have a separate life from here to what you're doing in your work, but not necessarily how you separate those two, but when you are working, are you very critical of yourself? Are you someone like, when you look back, I mean, do you look back at your own scenes? Do you look back at certain shots like, no, I got to do that again, because you're looking for the absolute best representation of what Brooklyn Chase is?
I don't. Okay. Because I feel like it's more authentic the other way. There are definitely girls that won't post a picture unless it has a filter on it, and they want to redo things over and over again, and I am just having fun. And, you know, people enjoy what I do, and they enjoy watching me, and what I've done so far over the last, you know, 5-6 years has worked, and I think it's more authentic and reaches the fans better if you're just having a good time. And so I'm not very critical, and maybe I should be more, but I'm not. I don't watch my scenes back. I don't.
Probably best. Maybe a little bit less stress if you're not that way.
It is, and for me, as long as I'm having fun, I had a successful day. I chalk that up to success. And if there's people, no matter what you do, no matter how perfect you try to make it, someone's not going to like it, and someone is, and you can't please everyone, so you just have to please yourself. So I just try and have a good time, and that's all that matters.
Well, Brooklyn, I definitely appreciate you, not necessarily also of your work, but clearly of your work ethic and your enthusiasm for what you do. And also, you seem to be a very humble person, very authentic, like you mentioned before, so I greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, I would like to do something very special here at AVN. Since this is my first time here in Vegas, I would like to obviously do this with you. I would like to actually invite you to a special club. And what that club is a club where what you do is you put these two fingers in together and these two fingers up like that, and you touch, and now you are officially a member of what we call the Jersey Wrecking Crew, because we're from Jersey. And what that is, basically, all our followers that watch this, because this is called Adventures with the Trendsetter on YouTube, now that she's an official member, what's going to happen is now they're all going to follow you. They're all going to support you, and just like us, we're always going to have your back as well. So, Brooklyn, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here in Las Vegas. Thank you very much.
So much.
And also, and I would be remiss to say this, where can people find you on besides brooklynchase.com, where can they find you on social media?
So you can find me on Twitter at Brooklyn_Chase and on Instagram at Miss Brooklyn Chase.
Brooklyn Chase, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.